one time. Just like something we might say in the future, which kind of got me thinking about things. Is like my background's testing, right? And a lot of my testing has been on browsers. Before, wouldn't it be funny, like in a few years' time, if we were saying, can you remember when we used to test on browsers? Like, we had Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Explorer, Edge, all these browsers, all doing the same job. But then I started thinking, like, if we didn't have browsers, what would we have that would give us a sort of similar result to the content that we've got? And that's where this concept came from. So I want to walk you through this concept because I think it's pretty interesting.
Alright, let me show you what I've been coming up with. So before I start, I want to let you know that this presentation has been done in Affinity Designer, which is the software I use to design the images. Things will get a little bit jumpy as I switch layers and whatnot. It's not really about the presentation, it's more about the concept. Anyway, click the browser of choice and we get a browser. We type in a web address, then we get a website. And the website has some images and some news and some GIFs and whatever else they decide to put on there. That's what we do now. This is a new application called Connected Data. And we would type in a URL at the top here, and we are given two options: connect data or install the app. We are right now, we're just going to pretend that we've selected install app and hit twitter.com. And we would get twitter.com. We can log in and we have Twitter presented as it is now in a browser. This would be a native application on your desktop. But it's the website that we know and love. However, this is where I want to get to. This time, we are going to go to twitter.com and we're going to connect the data. So before we get anything, we are given a list and we are asked what would we like from this list. So we could go through here and go, yeah, I really want my wall, I want to be able to post comments, and I want to know who to follow. I'm not interested in anything else because I don't use these features, so keep those to yourself. So I've ticked all those. I'm missing one of the windows here. I must have deleted that by mistake. Anyway, you get the idea. We've got the web components from twitter.com, the ones that we selected, and nothing else. They're on my desktop and I can move them around as I like. And this is what we would get, something like this. We've got the web components that we selected. They're on my desktop and native now. And I can move them around and I can resize them. It'd be cool to have some options, like maximize, minimize, settings per component. Because then I might decide, actually I want the text size in this component to be extra large. I'm not too worried about the text size in here. I might decide I want this to flash when I get a new update. Because bearing in mind these would be live, collecting data and listening all the time. But the idea is we don't have the browser anymore. It's integrated into the desktop. And it gives me, as a user, a lot more flexibility to do what I want with the data. So let's just take it a step further. Facebook.com, and we're going to say I actually only want my wall, I only want to post comments, and I only want to view group information. I'm not interested in pages, Facebook Messenger, etc., etc. So I'm going to leave those. Now look what happens. Those components from Twitter are now on my desktop. The components that I had before from Twitter, and this was the one I was missing earlier on in the slide, they're here now as well. So now I can actually start moving this all around. That should be there. That's like a little, I've got a new update alert. But you get the idea. So now I can start building spaces with information from different websites on one page on my desktop. Whoop, bring that back. So some benefits of this, like why you want to do this even. So the user can decide what goes where. We're only displaying what they want to see. We're not getting ads in here. We probably are on one of the walls somewhere, but it's not in your face. All the content that you want is on one screen. You can resize it and you can move them around. All the content's updated in real time. Individual config for each window would give the user much more control. And developers can decide what components they want to open up to the users. So now that we've got or starting to get like a collection of data from different websites. I've added here Google search and Netflix. The next thing I was thinking about is like, well, how would you organize this? You know, it'd be nice to have these spaces, and this is where this comes from. You imagine like I've pressed a command key on my desktop and now I'm switching between social, this bunch of data here, to creative. I could then quickly jump into the creative workspace, and you could have potential, you know, lots of workspaces, again, all from your desktop, not opening up a browser, and all updated in real time.
So that was it. That was my concept. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought down below. I'll be interested to know if you know of something like this that exists already. I'd be interested to know if you think it's a good idea, even if it's a bad idea, what you would like to see if it was a real thing. I think it's worth mentioning as well that actually some of this isn't that far away, really. You know, you've got tools like Natifier, which is an awesome little browser interface for Mac, probably Windows. No, it does work on Windows, and even Linux. And you can effectively point that to a website, twitter.com, Facebook, eBay, and it wraps it up into a native application browser that you can have on your desktop like any other application, which is cool. We've also got things like web components, which is coming up. Well, it's actually, I'll say it's coming up, is being adopted by a lot of browsers now, so there's a lot of support for that. That would give us options to, you know, take web components from websites and chuck them on the desktop. So there's a lot of things that's going on. Not that unreasonable, I don't think, to create a tool like that. But yeah, let me know what you think, because I'd be interested to have some conversation about it. Cheers.